Welcome, everybody, to episode 11 of Lights, Camera, Pop. Another week down, come and gone. I'm Rich,
I'm Mike.
and we're back at you next for the new week. How's it going, man?
Not bad, not bad, not bad. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I didn't check the levels to make sure we were good on recording, but live in the moment, I guess.
Shoot from the hip, I tell you,
Shoot
shoot
from the
from the
hip.
hip.
Oh shit, man! It has been like I tell you what, it has been so nice not having rain this like for the past 12 days. I think it was that I heard
Yes, I
that we have
agree.
not
And I'm
had
just glad
rain.
that, and I'm glad that the lawn is burning up from the sun too, so it cuts down on having to mow anything.
Oh Christ, tell me about it. And I think tomorrow when I come home from work, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut my grass. I'm gonna lower the blade a little bit just to kind of scalp it out because
I
once
don't
the
blame
rain
you.
does hit, like I mentioned before, my backyard turns into a big freaking swamp. And one of these days I want to get taken care of, but that kind of stuff takes moolah.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, not really a whole lot going on this week. Um, just been working and went out and scraped up all the old mulch that I had in the flower beds, if you will. Did that, manual labor home stuff. That was really about all. Like I didn't even really watch a whole lot of anything this week. Um, I started watching The Wrath of Man with Jason
Okay.
Statham and Josh Hartnett. I tell you what, Josh Hartnett, man, like he's such a good actor, and like he just kind of fell off. Like he kind of has been. It seems like he's been trying to get a comeback going. He'll pop up here and there, but then he just had that movie, that M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong movie, Trap, that came out last
Okay.
year, and it had come at us with some um, weird reviews and mixed. But one of these days I'll check it out. My daughter, she watched it and she said it was okay.
I haven't even seen it. I like Shamalama Ding Dong. I like his stuff. But it's like his stuff's like really, really, really hit or miss. Like it's either like really cool or like what the F did I just watch?
It's
There's like
literally like a Tales from the
almost
Crypt
no in
episode.
between.
Yeah, it's like
Yes, there's
each
like no in
week.
between.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I sadly I think the peak of his movies began and died with The Sixth Sense, and like
No, I didn't mind Signs, and I really liked Unbreakable. I honestly think Unbreakable was his best movie.
it's been a while since I've seen Unbreakable. I did watch it probably like right when it came out to video, and I do remember liking it, but and then the like everything else after that, I really there's that one I thought was interesting. I think it was called The Happening with
Okay, yeah,
Mark Wahlberg.
yep, yeah, the one where like air was killing people, where like nature just got pissed off and wanted to kill humans.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, you can't really
the
argue with that.
the the one that I just could not stand was the like that one with the water nymph in the pool.
What?
Oh my god, it was awful.
Oh, now
I
see,
can't remember the name of
I
it.
gotta look. Tell me more about this though, like, cause it
Um,
doesn't sound familiar to
it
me.
was like this dude that like lived in a, if I remember correctly, because I watched it one time, and my brain was just like the whole time watching. I was like, my brain kept yelling at me, Why do you continue watching this?" Um, but it was a guy in like a motel. Obviously, all of his movies are filmed in like Philadelphia, Bucks County area, and it was this dude in a hotel, and he was like kind of like the manager of the hotel. And at night, there was like this water nymph that lived in the pool, and he would see it. And I can't remember the whole thing, but it was just,
Was it
oh
Lady
my,
in the Water?
Lady in the Water, I think it was
Yeah, Lady
called.
in the Water, an apartment building superintendent, Cleveland Heap. What? That's his name,
What a
Cleveland
name.
Heap, right? Rescues what he thinks is a young woman from a pool that he maintains. Then he discovers that she is actually a character from a bedtime story.
That's it. Yeah. Like
Oh,
a water nymph from a bedtime story. Like the premise sounds cool, but it was just like it was slow.
and normally I don't
And
mind slow burn movies.
but this was a bad slow burn.
Uh,
Like it was just a boring slow burn. And it didn't have any like real cool like denouement at the end, like the like a wow factor. It just had like it was like a oh, it was a Cabbage Patch Kid. You know? Like
See, the worst for me, I hated Old. I thought the premise was good, but everything that followed was just freaking awful.
see, I've
And
never seen.
yeah, it was just so bad. Basically, a family that's vacationing, they go to a secluded beach, and
Okay.
every hour that they're there, they rapidly get older.
Oh, all right. I did see this movie again. Like, I don't think I really paid much attention to it. I think it was one that was, um, I think I was working and it was on in the background type of deal.
Yeah, like it's like I would rather gargle napalm than watch that movie again.
Wow, that good, huh?
Oh yeah, but like I said, the idea was there. The premise was good.
Right.
I like that concept, but it just failed with. I think that they kind of lost me too. Like some of the acting wasn't the greatest, but then there was like a scene where a little girl, uh, and a little boy, of course, were falling for each other to an extent as they were getting older within
Okay.
this time frame, and then she gets pregnant, and
Oh
then
my
the
God.
baby. Oh yeah, it's just mind numbing. It really is.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah,
But my week was a little bit different than yours.
yeah, yeah. Tell
uh,
me about
so,
your weekend,
well,
especially. You went back to
okay,
work
well,
too.
yeah, I went back to work, so I'm back at the normal grind, if you will.
Hmm.
So I'm still I'm doing quote unquote light duty. So basically, all I'm doing is like just busy work, the shop equivalent of busy work. Um, but it's okay. So I'm just glad to be back, to be honest with you. But this weekend, so yesterday,
Hmm.
I did the Steel City Spooky Market. It was the first of its kind. Um, and it was a hell of a time. It was a lot of fun. Like
So
it was surprisingly better than I expected.
I've been seeing a lot about this, and I've actually been seeing it for months that it's been popping up. And I think even at one time, my daughter sent me, "It's like, hey, check this out." Um, so tell me like, basically, excuse me, Jesus,
Mhm.
was it like just a giant vendor show for Halloween and horror?
No,
Okay,
it was a giant vendor show, but um, it was geared toward the alternative. I'm just gonna say. Um, I think initially the idea was more of a to for it to be that route that more towards like a Halloweenish type of a thing, Um, but it just turned out to be a lot of really cool vendors that so there was like how do I want to say, like the vendors were very curated. Okay,
okay.
so I was the comic book guy. There was a guy next to me that was selling like these like really intricate, like hand blown, handmade like glass orb type of things. There were people selling clothes. There's a tattooist there.
Oh
Um,
wow.
there was a
Oh,
person selling vintage clothes. Uh, there's a person selling plants. I mean, like it was very eclectic,
okay.
and it was geared more towards like the alternative people, like punk, goth, your outcasts, if you will, your nerds,
The
you
the
know.
the label people who don't like to be labeled.
Right. Um,
The outcasts
and
among the misfits, as I like
yeah,
to say.
it was geared toward that, but it catered to everybody. So like you didn't have to be that way to enjoy the market because there was
Right.
just so much different things there, and it was a lot of fun. The promoter did a wonderful job for doing this for their very first time. They did a spot on job. It was very well organized. It was set up well. They had food trucks there. There's a beer company was a sponsor.
Mhm.
It was really really cool, and they actually have more set up through August through October, so there are going to be more. I am not going to be doing any more until September. I'm going to try to get on to the September 20th one, because in my mind, I don't want to do every single one of them.
Right. You don't
You
want
know
to
what I
get
mean?
burned
Like,
out.
I hate when you go to a show and it's always the same vendors over and over and over again, because then it just gets stagnant. So I want to be able to, like, I'll open up spots. Like if I don't have to take a spot, let somebody else come in and do it.
Sure.
Perfect. Let them have a piece of the pie, and then I'll come back in a
Excuse me.
couple of months later. You know.
Right. Real
And
quick.
the promoter wants to do it again all next year. Go ahead.
Real quick. I'm going to apologize right
Hmm.
now if the first 10 minutes there was any static. I just realized I
Okay.
forgot to turn my mic on the on my actual mic. So I was actually using the mic on the laptop. Basically the issue that we had before.
See, I didn't hear anything
Well,
because a lot of
and you
times
won't.
I will.
Yeah, I was gonna say you won't
Yeah.
up until the time the playback. So I switched
Okay.
it within like the first 8 to 9 minute mark. So
Okay.
if you've heard any static, everybody, I apologize. That was my bad. As you were.
All
So
right.
continue. Real
Okay.
quick though, I do want to because I'm gonna shout out two people that I know were
Okay.
vending there too because I know their shit is always awesome. Time Bomb Toys. Um,
Hmm.
I follow them on Facebook, Instagram, all their socials. Plus, I've talked to them at Steel City Con, Horror Realm. Super awesome guys. Um, so I saw that they were there, and I'm wondering if the tattooist was the next person that I'm going to shout out to, is from Richie Vomit, from Monster Mart,
No,
and
he was not
he
tattooing there.
wasn't okay.
He was there. He was my neighbor to the right.
Hey, dude
Um,
is super
he was
freaking nice.
he's cool as hell. Yeah, he's a
Yes,
great
he
guy.
is.
And he's also in a band and
At
everything
the
like that
X-Ray
as
Dead.
well. But he was right next to me and Brian, and he was selling like a lot of like horror stuff. He had
Yeah,
like shirts and purses and like thermoses and different things like that. So yeah, he was right next to me. He was not tattooing though, but he
he
was
um
vending.
he does amazing work tattoo wise too. But his shop Monster Mart used to be in oh shit, I want to say Oakmont. Is that where that big bakery that everybody used to talk about
Yep.
Oakmont? Okay, so his
Yeah.
his shop originally was in Oakmont. And I remember they never opened until noon. But I've always seen about this on Facebook. I was like, I got to check this out and I would see it. And I was working at the copier company at the time, and or no, was it there? No. It was oh shit, I can't even remember now. If, it was either copier, WB. No, it was WB Mason. Sorry, like I have had a lot of freaking jobs. Sometimes it's easier just to say what where I didn't work as opposed to where I
Nice.
did. But yeah, it was WB Mason at the time, and by the time Oakmont was part of my route. And when I got to Oakmont, they weren't open yet. And then I would
Uh,
always be on my way out. But there was one time that my route kind of like altered a little bit. And I was able to go in for a few minutes to check it out. And it was so badass inside. I remember this giant coffee table that had Jason Voorhees in it. Um,
mhm.
and they moved, and now they're actually a little closer to me out in Greensburg.
Greensburg. I was gonna say they're in Greensburg now.
Yeah, yeah. And then when I was talking to him at Horror Realm the year before last, he was telling me about the X-Ray Dead album coming out, and I listened to. In fact, I just listened to it the other day. And the album's so good. But yeah, he's a super nice guy.
He's a sweetheart. He's a really nice guy, and I kind of felt bad because me and Brian helped him out a little bit. He was because it was so oppressively hot, like it was a very very hot day, that he actually kind of got sick,
Oh shit.
and yeah, me and Brian gave him a hand. Brian especially did at one point in time. Um, we helped him take some of his merch to his car, and then Brian helped him get in his car, and took care of some stuff. And then at one point in time, like one of the other vendors was there, gave him some water and everything. Again, it was just hot, and
Mhm.
he was just like, "I'm getting way too old for this." I'm like, "We all are," but but shout out to him. I like he held it down, and Brian, like I said, Brian was for me was the MVP because he helped me out so much with that heat and everything. Um, but other than the heat, it was a fantastic day.
That's
It was a really 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 good day. Now I have to, if I'm going to continue doing these, I have to like, because since I'm a comic book guy, I don't really tend to do anything outdoors. The only one I've done outdoors besides this one now was um the Horror Fest over in Brownsville. Um, so I do plan on doing more of these spooky markets, especially if they're going to be doing running them all through this year and next year. So I'm probably going to have to invest in one of those $100 tents, you know, like the gazebo type of a tent.
oh, those are nice.
Um, yeah, I'm going to invest in one of those, and maybe like a battery operated fan.
Wait, do fans take batteries now, or can't you just plug them in like an iPhone, charge them up, and then?
There are some there are some battery operated ones, and there's some that are like you can do that way.
That's awesome though. Yeah,
So that's the goal.
that's pretty cool. I do want to check it out. I definitely want to check that out. I think it would be pretty
It was
awesome.
worth it. It was worth it. It was just so much fun. It really was. And again, I can't say how nice it was for a first time, for a first go. A lot of these first goes for shows
Mhm.
are dead zones, and you know, because you're planting the field, you know what I mean, like you gotta keep going with it until it catches on, and things happen. But I think one nice thing is, since it was at like that Frankie Place Park, and it was like right by the arena where the Pens play. It was right by
Oh wow, okay.
the, yeah, like you're literally like when if you're looking up the road, you're 5 feet from where the Pens play, PPG Arena, and I was like like basically right there where the U.S. Steel building is, the one you have the big UPMC sign on top. Like I was right across the street from it,
Yeah.
so literally middle of downtown Pittsburgh. The 10-minute walk to Ides if you wanted to if you wanted to get froggy,
Oh wow.
you know.
That's not bad at all.
So
And what's really nice
no,
that from what I've seen too is they had we were talking about this before we started recording, that they posted that they had a really nice turnout. And from what I saw too,
yeah,
from the pictures of you,
the turnout was
time bomb
great.
and stuff. Um, and what's special, I think, that people showed up for this is the fact that the big convention was in Monroeville. Steel City
Yep.
Con's going on this weekend. So to have the turnout that they did while that convention was going on, I think it's saying something for it. And I think that the next time when they have it, it's going to be a lot bigger, especially if they're getting closer to Halloween. And when you label themselves as spooky market, I think
Yep.
that uh, a lot of people are going to like tend to go out and try to find more stuff.
The next one is this month is the 23rd. Then there's two in September, the 6th and the 20th.
And are they
Then
all going to be at the
basically
same place?
uh, was was that
Are they
same
all going to be
place?
at the same place? Okay.
Yep. And then in October, there's four in October. It's basically every Saturday, the 4th, the 11th, 18th, and 25th.
Hmm. Damn.
Now, the 11th, I will be up in Erie. And then the 25th, I'll be doing Creature Fest. So those two are definitely taken off the market. I probably won't do the 18th just because I'm going to need a break.
Sure.
So I'll probably, like I said, I'm probably not going to do anything now until September 20th.
Okay.
So I'm gonna reach out to them and see if I can get a spot for the 20th.
I know, like, I know for a fact that the one in October, I definitely won't attend. Well, the last one, the 25th, just because the Booze and Twos Tattoo Horror Fest is going to be down there.
Right.
And that's something I really want to go to. 20, excuse me, $20 to get in. Can't beat that.
Nope.
Um,
Yep.
so on Thursday, I think it was Thursday evening, I
Mhm.
was like, I was on scrolling on Instagram, and a girl that I was following for a long time, I met her while I was delivering copiers years ago, and she had posted something. Lexi, she posted something with like, check out the new album out today. I was like, oh, this kind of piqued my curiosity. Album. And I checked it out. So the name of the band, she has a band. Never, I never would have guessed that this this female was into this kind of music, and it blew my mind. I tell you what, like, I the name of the band is Brain Dead by Sunday. And
Mhm.
so I downloaded it and I skimmed a couple songs Thursday evening. And then Friday at work, because, being a merchandiser, don't talk to really very many people. It's like all I'm doing is put my AirPods in and jamming out. Which, by the way, I did get new earbuds. I got JBLs instead of their actual AirPods. Oh, they're so much nicer. Anyway, I'm not getting sponsored from JBL, I swear.
Right.
So anyway, Brain Dead by Sunday. I tell you what, I listened to this album at the least 9 times. Like, it was just on repeat. The whole every time I'm in Brownsville Walmart, it's playing. I'm at Giant Eagle in Uniontown. It's playing, and it is so like it literally has something for everybody. But at its core, it really feels like a darker gothic, like horror. I don't want to say a horror esque. Well, maybe not so much as uh, gothic. Maybe that's not the right word, but maybe like a horror esque punk rock group. And her vocals are absolutely haunting. And the guitar riffs, like, everything is just spot on with this album. And I'm gonna go a little bit more into it on the horror of it all on Wednesday. But man, even the album cover is phenomenal.
Yeah,
But
you sent it to me.
yeah, you have to, like, if you haven't got to check it out yet, because I know you've been busy. But yeah, definitely check it out. Everybody, go out, follow Brain Dead by Sunday on socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's gonna blow your mind. They are really
Yeah, I'm
good.
probably
And
gonna listen to. I'm probably gonna listen to the whole thing again tomorrow. Like I perused a little bit of it.
mhm.
Like you said, I've just been real busy, and I wanted to be able to sit back and just soak it in, and I wasn't able to yet. So I plan on doing that tomorrow.
Well, I sent it to Brian, and I was like, dude, check this out. And he brought back the perfect analogy. Like, it was almost like, do you remember I want to say it was 89, 90, maybe it was 99. Shit, I can't even remember the year, but do you remember the Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost movie?
Yeah.
They had the Hex Girls on there singing.
Hmm.
He said it gave you like an 80s, 90s rock vibe
Oh,
that the Hex
nice.
Girls brought. Like, it was rock, it had horror esque at its core, and it was a vibe for everybody. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm going to talk about like some of the tracks and stuff on Wednesday on the other show, and but yeah, such a really good album. So
That's awesome. What's
I don't know, just kind of like perusing the memory. I don't know what really is uh
okay? So since we're kind of talking about spooky stuff,
oh, spooky stuff.
have
I like
you
spooky
ever
stuff.
heard? Okay, we're gonna go down. We're gonna go off on a little side tangent here. Like, so mostly, if you listen to our show, you'll know that like we talk about comics, movies, music, books, the cool stuff.
Yeah.
But we also are really into like paranormal and like all that sort of stuff as well. And that all fits in with the pulp culture because let's face it, like the paranormal is part of the zeitgeist uh of our world.
Oh yeah. I
Now,
mean,
have you ever heard of a Kazarian mirror?
no.
Oh,
No, not at all. Not even I've not even heard those words ever put together.
okay.
I've heard of a
Uh,
mirror.
no, Kazarian. I'm probably slaughtering the name. He's actually a Russian physicist from around. His contemporaries were like Max Planck and um I don't know, Einstein and all them. He's around. He was a physicist operating about that time.
Hmm.
Now, during the Soviet Union, they he had a lot of like he was doing his PhD work. He was in graduate school. He was doing his PhD work, but then there was like a big backlash against a lot of like we'll just say learned people. So a lot of them ended up going up to Siberia. He was one of them, and so he was sentenced to a hard labor camp because they thought he was going against the Russian Revolution at the time, the communist revolution. He was against communism, which he wasn't. There was no evidence of that. It's just happened. People kind of got caught up in these big fishing nets, if you will, and he was one of them. So he got sent to the gulags,
Okay.
and at one point in time, he was sentenced to death. He was supposed to be shot by a firing squad. Now, the firing squad didn't make it up into Siberia because of horrible weather, and
Snow.
which saved him. So then his death sentence got a reprieve because they realized, oh well, these guys up here are actually better off as slaves than they are as corpses. So he was sentenced more longer to a working camp, and people are probably like, "What the hell does this have to do with anything?"
Hmm.
But I'll tell you, the whole time he was up there, like I said, he was a mathematical genius, and he was literally writing his PhD dissertation in his head. Couldn't write it down anywhere, but he would think about it all day long while he was up there. Now his contemporaries um, in the universities and in the hard sciences down in St. Petersburg and Leningrad and stuff like that were petitioning to have him let go because they realized his genius. So finally, after a while, he did. He was uh, released from prison, brought back into the fold, and was allowed to finish his PhD, which he did in astonishing rates because, like I said, he had everything already in his head.
Okay.
So all he had to do is just basically write it down. Got his PhD really, really quickly. Now, but his area of expertise was time. Okay, and he looked at time as more of a linear force, not as a uh, not as like not how it travels through like the speed of light, blah blah blah, but time and light can be bent, and this that the other, kind of like what Einstein said. And well, I'm not going to get into the big rigmarole of quantum theory, physics, or anything like that, which I can if you really want me to, but that's an entire other episode.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
um,
I don't think we have
but
much time tonight.
yeah, so anyway, he came up with this this experiment. It was called the Kazarian mirror, which is named after him. And it wasn't like mirrors as in like what you would see in your bathroom mirror. What he did was what was like took aluminum and had like this spherical roll of aluminum, and it had like it was charged, and he had to go and it had to be in a point with very low entropy, which basically just means like very, very cold area. Okay. Um, so back up in Siberia, he Kazarian passes away finally, and scientists are like, okay, this is intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run his experiment. So they go and they get the funding, and they go and they build the mirror up in this town, one of the most northern towns that you can get up by the North Pole in Siberia, and they build this mirror, what they refer to as a mirror. Like I said, it was like a aluminum cylindrical shape, and it had a chair in the middle, and the person would sit in the chair. Okay,
Okay.
and the whole thing was supposed to, the mirror was supposed to collect the radiation coming out of the human body, and it was supposed to go and focus it back into your brain and able to enhance ESP. So if you were already had ESP abilities, it was like an amplifier for your ESP abilities.
Okay.
And if you didn't have ESP abilities, it would cause you to have ESP abilities. So when they built this, they built them across a couple of different areas. There was one in the United States, there was one in Eastern Europe, there was one in Japan, there was one in, I want to say like South Africa. And what they would do is they would put these people, volunteers, into this mirror,
Okay.
and one person, the one that was up in Siberia, had a computer screen in front of him, and it had a series of shapes, okay, hieroglyphics, we'll just say, for lack of better word.
Okay.
And a hieroglyphic would come up on the screen and would stay there for about a minute, and the person that was in the mirror would concentrate on that, and he was trying to send that out to the people that were in the other mirrors to see if they would pick up on it, and they were all to write down what they got. Okay,
Hmm.
and when they were doing this, I want to say there's somewhere around 17 other mirrors, I want to say,
Holy
and
shit.
out of that 17 other mirrors, 90% of the time they would pick up the right hieroglyph when they were doing the experiment. 90% of the people that were in the experiment did it at the exact same time. So like that's kind
Wow.
of crazy. Um, People say that like they felt complete dread just being around the mirrors. Like the Russian scientists said when they built the mirror the first time that they couldn't even go into the room because they felt like they built a portal to hell.
That's insane.
And yeah, and they were saying like there are people that have been in the mirror say that like after a while, like you have to have like they say you have to have like a lot of like intestinal fortitude to be able to even get into the mirror because it just makes you sick. Like they say like being in the mirror at first is almost like how people get for like motion sickness.
Yeah.
They said like they get that feeling at first, like that nausea and sweats and everything like that. Some people have said that um, they have come to what they refer to as the Watcher, which is a human-looking individual with no face, but he's from another dimension. They say like the mirrors can open other dimensions. It could enhance ESP. It can talk to dead people. They say like there's all these like like not theories, but there's all these like what people are saying like actually happen. Like aliens have been able to use these as portals to speak to people, and they say like some people have like gone absolutely insane in the mirrors because they got knowledge that they weren't supposed to have. Like it's pretty crazy. So if you're out there and you want to like go down some wacky rabbit hole, like it's called KOZREV, Kozarev MIRRO, mirror, and you look up the
Okay.
Kozarev mirror experiments. Um,
Did you really just
it'll
spell
like
mirror?
you will go down a rabbit hole that you do not want to go down. But it is the coolest crap ever.
I'm like writing this down because I'm intrigued. I'm gonna have to check into this now. Where the I'm gonna take it to I'm gonna spiral that into films. Was there any kind
Okay.
of film that you can think of that
Yes, yes. You want to know what it is? Not a
yes.
film, but everyone has seen this, and you're going to know as soon as I tell you. Stranger Things.
Uh,
Remember the whole portal thing in Stranger Things?
yeah, the thing that basically started it all, right?
Yep, it was because of the that is. You got to remember, it was Russians that did it in the '80s. That was the time when the Khazarian mirror experiments were being done by Russia in the 1980s.
That's mind blowing. Yeah, because I was trying to like as you're describing this, I'm like, now there's stuff that I've seen out there like Black Mirror. I didn't know if that had anything to do with it.
There are
Um,
other movies that have used the premise of this, but Stranger Things was actually known to use it as the backbone.
hmm. Now, just moving away from the mirror because I don't have any mirror stories. I don't know. I take that back. I take that back. I kind of do. Like, but before I get into that, like, have you had any kind of like experiences
I lived in a haunted house for a couple of years. Yes.
and not like Rich's Fright Farm or like
No, no, no,
100
no, no.
Acres
I
Manor
mean,
or
like I
anything like
lived
that?
in an actively haunted house in Merrittstown.
That's insane. Like, so, like, your TV gets turned off, your batteries get swapped back and
Um,
forth.
well, you like next time you see
Like, and I'm not
Jeremy,
like making fun,
'cause
but
no, next time you see Jeremy, because I know you ran into him the one time at the mall, at the store.
that's so
But
funny.
he and I were sleeping in the living room one day. Okay, we were watching. He and I would always watch Top Gear. Okay,
Okay,
and we were watching Top Gear. I was sleeping on the one couch and he's sleeping on the other. And we had we had pocket doors, and I would pull the pocket doors about 3/4 of the way shut just to keep light out.
mm,
So he and I are watching TV, and um, it was just us, and you heard walking upstairs. Okay.
okay,
And then you heard it came all the way down the stairs because we had like the stairs came down and had a landing and then it came down again. And then there was, as soon as it did that, you just seen a black mass move over, look into the room, looked at me and Jeremy, and then turned his head up and then turned around and you can hear it literally walking back up the stairs. And then Jeremy just looked at me and he's like he was young. He looked at me, he's like, you saw that too, right? And I was like, yes. He's like, okay. Um, then another time I was by myself and the shower was upstairs, so I was taking a shower. And my dad my dad had a key to the house, so he'd just pop in every once in a while. And
sure.
I I heard someone yell, Mike. So I thought it was my dad. So I was like, what? And then he yelled my name again, and I was like, "What?" And then nothing. So I thought maybe my dad just didn't hear me or something. So he left. So I finished taking a shower, get dressed, do my thing, go down, pick up the phone, call my dad. I'm like, "What you want?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Weren't you just at my house?" I was like, "Didn't you just yell for me?" He's like, "Mike, I never left my living room."
Wow.
There was other stuff like things had been moved. There was like a lot of other stuff. Now there was a suicide in the house.
And
A,
that would cause it.
in the late 70s, early was that?
I said, yep, that would cause it.
Yeah, in the late 70s, early 80s, there was a guy going through a very, 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 very nasty divorce, and he was a renter at the time that lived at the house as a rental unit for family members, and uh, he was a super nice guy, but he was about to like lose everything. His ex-wife was about to take everything, his kids, all this stuff like that. So he put a shotgun in his mouth and pulled the trigger.
Ugh.
And yeah. And then there was a heart attack. A woman had a heart attack in the house as well and died. The house was built in the 1800s, so it wasn't like it was um, like a newer house. The house across the street from me was haunted. The house right next to me was haunted, and then right up the road there was a like a double wide that was not haunted, and then there was a blacksmith shop that ran back to the 1700s, and that was in my family on my mom's side. Um, and my mom and my cousin actually saw an apparition cross the street one night and then go into the blacksmith shop.
Oh wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
The only like the only two really experiences that I've had that like nothing that like to me personally, I guess, like but like just where I've witnessed. So I remember delivering a copier years ago to the Greene County Historical Society. And basically the house, the mansion, whatever, it was is a museum. And you kind of
I've been
walk
there.
through.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you walk through, see like each room is set up and different things and items. There was one room I'm curious. I'm taking pictures and stuff. And then later on, I'm like going through it because of course, you always hope for something. So
Right.
you're going in, you're looking, you're zooming in, and right before I was like, oh, no, there was nothing in these pictures, and then I caught something. It looked like a face. It looked. I'm not gonna. I won't say it was. I won't say it wasn't, but it just looked like a face in the mirror. But there was
That's
nobody else
awesome.
in that room. It was just me, and the way the mirror was angled, it couldn't have been like a reflection of a reflection of a reflection of me. So
That's wild.
yeah, but then there was another, which I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of the ghost stories surrounding uh, the Bowman's Castle in Brownsville.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I remember being down there one time, and I've taken pictures, and when I was looking at the pictures later on, I saw a little girl, and she was had the blinds opened, not the blinds, but the curtain. And I was like, "Oh, this is so wild! I got to show." And I had it on the memory card. And for some unknown reason, that memory card got wiped.
Oh,
Yeah, it was so weird. So I mean, yeah, I really haven't have, but I do believe in that stuff. I mean, it's it's easy
we
to believe in it.
we live in a weird world, man. I mean, like, who knows? Who can really say what's out there? I mean, like like since my background's in physics, and I do believe in the multiverse, and I do believe in theoretical and quantum physics. So me and Amy always talk about it, and she's always like, "It's stupid," and I'm just like, "No," like, like it's just. I'm
That's
like,
funny.
I try to explain things to her. She's like, letters and numbers, letters and numbers. It doesn't mean anything. I'm like, shut up, just shut up. So like we don't even talk about it anymore. And then like if something happens, like she'll like, oh yeah, physics. But but I also like what do you think about UFOs and extraterrestrials?
Oh, 100%. Like if anybody doesn't believe that, like I would go as far as believing more into aliens and UFOs before the supernatural.
Yeah.
Just because of the
Yeah.
simple fact, if anybody thinks that we are the only people, the only beings on this planet out of 8 other planets, let alone the galaxies that are in this just galaxy, whatever. I mean, you can't be that naive to think that we're the only living beings. I can't see
Right.
it. I know.
You ever hear of the Drake? You ever hear of the Drake equation?
Like the Grossi. No,
No.
I'm sorry.
There's
I'm
a
just being
there's a
stupid.
there's an equation referred to as the Drake equation,
Hmm.
and it is a formula that basically estimates how many um about how many extra you know
ETs.
what I'm trying to say. Yeah, civilizations are in the Milky Way galaxy,
Okay.
and it's a pretty cool.
And if anybody doesn't know, the
Uh,
Milky Way galaxy is what we live in.
yeah, so I'm not gonna like go into the Drake equation, but like if anybody wants to learn it, you know, anybody wants to figure it out or delve into it a little bit more, um, just literally just type in Drake equation and it'll let you know. It'll give you the formula and it'll kind of tell you like what it is. Drake was a he was a theoretical physicist, and it was started off mostly just as a gas, you know, like him just screwing around trying to figure out the equation,
Yeah.
and now it's widely considered like, okay, this is how you figure out how many quote unquote inhabitable areas there are in a galaxy. And he did the paper, and I want to say like somewhere around between 63 and 65. I can't remember, 1963, 1965, somewhere in that neighborhood is when he wrote it. And again, it was written as a joke, not really as a joke, as a true inquisitive mind, but as a lark. It wasn't like he wasn't like trying to like do anything major with it. He wasn't gonna like do this as like a major scholarly paper.
Sure.
But it kind of turned into one, and now like SETI uses it, and NASA uses it. Yeah, so it's taken a lot of credence by physicists and astronomers and astrophysicists alike.
Yeah, I can totally believe that. And like I said, I can't fathom the idea that there's actually people out there that don't that are that naive to not believe that.
Yeah, I think you're like you just nailed it. I think you're very people would have to be very naive um if they believe that we are the only life source in the world,
It
like
is very
the
funny though.
in the universe. We might be the only life source in our known universe, but we are not the only life source in the universe. Hell,
Well,
right now the scientists are tracking um a large object that's heading towards Earth
I saw that.
that does have that does have a trajectory to hit Earth, if not really hit us, but like close Earth orbit. And they're saying that the way that the orbit is, it's more under um, intelligent design than it is terrestrial design. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
So is there a big mothership heading towards us that we don't know about that's just probing us?
who's going to be the first in line for that one?
Right.
um, yeah, that's definitely interesting, and I'm all for it. I mean, I've always
And
said that.
here's another question. Do we want to know if there's other extra do we really want to go and put these beacons out into space? Because let's face it, man, we're we're not really that technologically advanced. So in the grand scheme of things, I mean, so if we're putting out like all this information of like who we are and what we are, all of a sudden someone's going to look at us and be like, "Damn, those Earthlings. I wonder what they taste like."
Why do I picture? I can't remember their names, but the green aliens from The Simpsons.
Yeah, Kang and Kronos.
Yeah.
How to cook humans, how to cook for humans, how to cook 40 humans. You know? Um, but like these are the questions that keep me up at night. Yeah, so do we want to have contact? And if we do have contact, what type of contact are we going to have? Are we going to have like the benevolent grays that are um, you know, trying to look over humanity and try to guide us and keep us safe and all that sort of stuff? Or are we going to come across like reptilians that like, you know, supposedly hate humans and want to kill them and eat them? Like, yeah, as you can tell, guys, I love Coast to Coast AM. So I know I'm going down a bit of a rabbit hole tonight,
Not at all.
um, but this is just a fun episode. This is again, I know we're straying away from our normal comic booky, all that sort of stuff. But I mean, like, this still does tie in with it. I mean, like, look at all the movies that are out there about aliens. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
like, you have
Mars
everything
Attacks.
from ET to what? Name something.
Mars Attacks,
Men in Black.
Independence Day, the
Yeah,
Faculty. Listen, the Faculty, like they really have, like the way that was written, almost feels like it could be something that happens because
right.
Elijah Wood even makes the comment. They say it's science fiction. Exactly. Everybody's always hung up on the fiction. It's the science part that they get you on.
Science fiction ultimately turns to science fact. Let's just
Right.
put it that way. I mean, like, look at all the stuff that like initially came out of like Star Trek. I mean, like cell phones were modeled after the Star Trek intercom. The communicator system. Um, yeah, I mean, like look at uh, James Bond's watch. He's talking to his watch. Now look at us. We have like Fitbit watches and everything like that you can talk into and get your information from. Um, Heck, like just pretty much everything at some point in time started off as everything does start off as an idea. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
And an idea initially starts off as science fiction because it's just that. Are you really going to be able to do that? Laser beams. I mean,
Yeah.
radar, microwaves, going into space, satellites, like you name it. It was all science fiction at some point in time, like Jules Verne, you know. Now, okay, I got one more burning question. What do you think about time travel?
Mm. And see, I never really thought about it, but I don't think that it could be too far out of the realm of realistic. But it is a little bit more harder to believe than everything else.
No, it was funny because everyone knows who Stephen Hawking is. Okay, Stephen Hawking threw a really interesting party back in the 1970s. He had a party on Friday night, but he invited everybody on Saturday. But if they were time travelers, they would have been there the correct night. It was a thought experiment. Okay, is what he did. But technically, like through like mathematics and physics, technically, yes, time travel is feasible. Can it actually be done? We don't know, just because of the massive amounts of energy that would need to be done would almost rival that of what a star can give.
Right.
Okay, so um, but my thing is, if time travel can truly exist right now, but there's a moratorium on time travel.
Explain that one. I'm a,
That
I'm a,
would
a blah blah
that
blah.
would basically mean by the time that you are to the ability to do time travel, okay, in the future,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we'll say like 100 years from now, time travel is possible. So we'll just you say like the Lawrence Livermore Laboratories, okay, which is like a big U.S. think tank laboratory that a lot of like DARPA research. Well, I'll talk about DARPA in a minute. Like DARPA research and different things like that come out of that place. So let's just say that they came up with it in 100 years from now. They said like, hey, guess what? This microwave over here can now travel through time. So with that said, there may have been the governments of the world could have said, okay, look, okay, time travel exists, but we can't do it. So they basically make time travel illegal so that you don't mess with the fabric of time.
Ah, okay.
So you don't do a screw up in the butterfly effect. It'll almost be like that. You ever see the one cartoon where it's just like the scientist comes out, he's like there's like this machine in the back, and he comes running out of it, and he goes, "I killed Hitler,"
Yeah.
and he's like holding a pistol, and then all of a sudden like the guy turns around and he goes, "You killed who?" See what I mean? So like, he knows who Hitler is because it was in his timeline. But once you killed Hitler and you come back to your timeline, Hitler no longer existed, so
Right.
no one knows who Hitler is.
Interesting.
So yeah,
Just
there
food for
may
thought.
be just a moratorium, and the only people that can actually do the time travel would be a select group of individuals who are set to maintain time.
Like, um, like the Spider Team in the Beyond the Spider Verse movies. Like just
Yep,
like the Time Police or something.
yep, yeah. Now, what do you think of the multiverse? And I'm not talking about um, DC or Marvel. I'm talking about the one that we live in currently. The one that we live in where there's a Mike and Rich talking about the multiverse, and there's a Mike and a Rich talking about the microverse, and there's a Mike and a Rich talking about the multiverse, and one of them has a Fear shirt on like I have on right now. The other one has a Danzig shirt on, and another one has a Misfit shirt on, because we're all the same person, but we're in different timelines
Hmm.
talking about the same stuff, just slightly different.
I that I huh.
You're gonna be like, I'm never talking to this dude again about
No,
this
no, no,
crap.
no, not at all. I mean, like it is. It's kind of weird because like it's almost like seeing somebody like it's almost like the doppelgangers that you always hear about, like people who look like somebody else. Like
And some people say the doppelgangers are from the multiverse.
right. So I mean, I don't think that's too far removed from the ordinary. I mean, I think that's something that could be feasible.
What do you think about multiple Big Bangs? The where a universe touches another universe, causing a Big Bang theory. That's where the universe comes from. Wherein the fabric of one universe touches the fabric of another universe, which coalesces together and causes a Big Bang.
I never thought too much into it.
But tonight you're going to be like, I can't sleep.
My brain's gonna be like, "You're not sleeping tonight, ha ha." Actually, my I won't be sleeping tonight probably because of my tooth is hurting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I as we're just so everybody knows, as I've been talking, I've also been applying Oragel on my gums.
Yikes.
I'm not drooling
But
or anything. Like it's not like I'm.
yet.
It's like, can I get some of that Novocaine in liquid form?
Okay,
Um,
guys, I promise next week we'll be back to our normal schedule program. This is just an
I
offshoot.
think this was
Um, I just happened to mention to message Rich this week and was just like, hey, because okay, a little bit of a like the peek behind the curtains, guys. Um, as you can tell, we're very loose with our podcast. Like we don't script anything, we don't write anything
not at
out, we
all.
don't have anything that like we're going to do. Like we'll just text each other like sporadically through the week and be like, hey, let's talk about XYZ. So like this week I was like, hey, let's talk about the paranormal, and all I got back was hell yeah. So then when we and of course, like, any other normal podcast would be like, okay, we're going to talk about the paranormal. So let's talk about this story, this story, this story, this story. But no, what we decided to do was talk about the paranormal, and then when we hopped on today, we're just like, "Did you do any research?" Hell no. So
No, another thing.
that's what makes it more fun.
Yeah, another thing that I did write down though, just as we were talking, just to close out the show with our normal, because we haven't done this in like 2 weeks. Um, but like you can only keep one. If anybody remembers
Oh
that
yeah,
game, if you can,
and we didn't do the Weird Owl either, did we?
yeah, yeah, we've mentioned Weird Al on every episode.
Okay, good.
Yes, so we're gonna keep that going. Weird Al for um Super Bowl 2026.
Yes. All right.
Um,
Let's. All right. We'll get back off of the paranormal stuff.
well,
Every
no,
once in a while, we might dip our toe into this. Like I
oh
said,
yeah,
we're
I
just
think
trying
so
to
too.
keep. We're just trying to keep it like loose and fun, and not formulaic. Where like, oh crap, what comic book are they going to talk about today? Oh crap, what movie are they going to talk about today? Oh crap, what band are they going to talk about today?
Yep.
So we like to keep you guys on your toes a little bit. So that's why we did this one.
Now all of
And as
the.
we get towards, October, I'm sure we'll have more stuff
Oh
like
yeah, I
this as
think so
well.
too. Um, okay, so all of these movies have since we were talking about the paranormal, I figure we're gonna keep it with the paranormal,
Perfect.
and all of these movies have remakes, but I'm only talking about the originals.
Okay.
First and foremost, we have Poltergeist, The Exorcist, Amityville, well, Amityville Horror, and Evil Dead. You can only keep one.
Okay. Let me hear yours.
Okay, so I may catch a lot of heat for this one, but immediately The Exorcist is out. I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, I get it, but yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of it. It's not one of my go tos. Amityville Horror, I like the original, but I've watched the remake more than the original. Sometimes I think the remakes are a little better. Not by many. Not by many. Just
I get
and
it.
it's a toss up though between the Evil Dead because I do love Evil Dead. But honestly, I'm gonna go with Poltergeist. I love Poltergeist, and that, of all these movies, Poltergeist had a scene in there that just stuck with me for years. And it was when one of the scientists was in the bathroom and he was like popping a scab, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he just started
Ugh.
dropping his flesh, picking his face off.
And then
And
when the maggots come out of the chicken.
yes, like it was just that movie is so good. And I
Okay.
absolutely love that movie. So yeah, that's going to be the one that I'm taking.
Okay. No, I'm gonna have to knock off two right off the bat. Evil Dead, which I absolutely love, and I think it's a phenomenal movie. But I'm gonna knock that one right out, and I'm gonna knock Amityville Horror right out. Um, the reason why, I'll give you my reason why. Amity Evil Dead, great movie, but not grounded in any sort of reality.
Yeah.
Amityville Horror, great movie, but debunked. Not really. I don't really. Not sure if I really believe the house was haunted. The Warrens were kind of an odd cat, and where they, yeah. So I'm going to take those two off the table right now. Now I know like Poltergeist had nothing to do. It was just a fake story.
Mm-hmm.
But it was done so well. Now, the part that scared me the most, like I love when the guy pulled his face off, like that creeped me out. But the part that scared me was when the tree reaches in and starts to eat the boy.
Oh,
Um, like that creeped me out.
and see,
Like
and
that
everybody
part
was
gave me
always
the
like
chills.
about the clown. Everyone gets freaked out about the clown in that movie. But like
I know, but
I've always had a weird thing about clowns. So
the clown was creepy. They're here,
yeah.
and the fact that like the little girl died in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the older sister died in real life. She was murdered.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You heard of? Yeah, like there was there was a death on the scene on the set one time. But anyway, that would be like my number two. But mine would be The Exorcist. Like I like that movie. I attribute that movie to my insomnia to this day because I watched that movie when I was like 7 or 8 years old. My sister let me watch it, and I don't believe I've slept since. Um, and the fact that it's supposed to be like a true story, even though it wasn't a girl, it was a little boy that it happened to at the time. Um, but like that was like really well documented. Um, and I just think it's just creepy as sin.
Yeah.
That's so I'm going with The Exorcist.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And like just 'cause the way Reagan when she like spun her head and uh your mom sucking cocks
Like,
in hell. Um, just it was just so brutal. Like that was a brutal movie, and but there was no, I don't know, there was
may,
like no blood and guts,
yeah,
but there was blood and guts. If
and
you get it, if you get what I'm saying.
maybe my thought behind it is like for The Exorcist is I didn't see that movie at a young age. I just
See, I
watched it
did.
within the past 20 years.
Okay, and I read the book. Um, Now the cool thing is like one day I found the book a first printing with its dust jacket and everything. I found the book at a yard sale for 25 cents, and I recently sold it about a year ago, and I made some pretty good money off of it. But I really that movie to me is the if I were to do a 1 through 100 of the scariest movies of all time, that would be my number one.
Oh wow.
That would be my number one. Because I honestly believe that is the scariest movie ever made.
And we may have to revisit that list and with October coming up, we may have to revisit that list.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say we do 100, but maybe we do like a countdown.
I
Like,
like it.
do like a maybe like our top, say what the 4 Sundays in October,
I
or
like
our
it.
top 40.
Yeah,
Like I think that would be kind of cool. Our
I
top
think so
40
too.
favorite horror movies.
I like it. So
But
everybody stay tuned till October.
yeah, yeah. And trust me, we'll be around. We're
Oh,
not.
well,
I
I'm
don't
not
see
going.
this train as stopping.
It's not. It's not. It's rolling around the
We
bend.
got some. We've been talking to some people about getting on here for some more guests. I spoke to a couple of local writers that are in the horror realm. So I'm gonna keep some names to ourselves right now until we get everything nailed down, and then we'll uh, we'll get them out there to you guys, so you can look forward to that. And if you're a listener and you are a local to the Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania area and you want to be on our show and you do art, comics, movies, film, music, get a hold of us. We'd love to have you. We'd love to talk to you
100%.
about this kind of crap.
And we don't even have to talk about this kind of crap. We can talk about whatever you want.
No, yeah, we can talk about if you want our favorite scrambled egg recipe, we can give you our favorite scrambled egg recipes.
Oh,
Because
hot
trust me,
sauce.
man, I am a master at scrambled eggs.
And on that note, you guys can reach out at us at Lights Camera Pop Pod at Outlook.com. Follow us on Lights Camera Pop Pod at Instagram and Lights Camera Pop on Facebook.
And
And
don't forget, we got to get Weird Al on the Super Bowl. So don't forget about that, guys. We're not giving up on Weird Al for the Super Bowl,
never.
for the halftime show.
And if it
This
doesn't
will
happen next year,
happen in my lifetime.
yes, I was gonna say if it doesn't happen next year, it'll happen the following year. And
We will
then
keep pushing this until finally somebody listens to us.
right, say okay, so we'll do it like we'll end the show when he gets to be. No, I don't want to say that because then with our luck, he would get picked for next year. It'd be like, oh well,
I was gonna
shit.
say,
Guess we're done.
be like, did you hear what happened last week? He got picked, so we're done. But let's not lie. All we will do is just change the name of the
Yeah,
damn
exactly,
show.
and start something new. But
So,
on that note, everybody, have a great week. Stay tuned for Wednesday for another episode of The Horror of It All. And this week they've been announcing like the first half of the guests for Horror Realm Con. I'm going to be talking about that and who they
that's
got
awesome.
and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, listen to Rich's interim shows, The Horror of It All. It's great. I really enjoy listening to them myself. They're not
I
these
appreciate
real
that.
long opus shows, but they're really fun. They're great little shows in between. So check them out, man.
I appreciate that. And everybody can find Mike at nomad_comics_collectibles on Instagram.
Yep.
And everybody, thank you very much for getting your geek on with us, and we will see you next week.
Watch those faces in the mirror, people.